Thank you.
That was a very intense trailer. So first we'll have an opening remark from both of you about the movie.
Yeah, you want to start?
Anyone can start.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here and supporting us. Thanks for watching the trailer. Just to start with, this is my debut film as director, and I worked under other directors as well as assistant. And we wanted to make something different in the horror genre itself. From the regular storytelling, we wanted to explore real life horrors and blend it with the genre horror elements, and blend it with our folklore and stuff. So we've got a lot of interesting stories, in our history or in our Puranas and stuff. And they do carry in some form or another today itself. There's always parallels that we can draw between them. So we try to bring that together in an entertaining way, blending the horror element and also trying to stay true to the storytelling, stay true to uh, the aspects of it that we can relate. So that's what we try to bring in. So not trying to spoon feed or anything. I think the synopsis was a bit spoon feeding, I guess, towards the end. But that's not something that we are trying to make in the movie. But as it progresses, hopefully you'll be able to see what we're trying to say and what's underneath. While at the superficial layer of it, we try to make it just entertaining so that you don't have to think while watching the movie. But we hope that it lingers on after you watched it. Thanks.
Pavana, you want to add?
Namaste. In the very first place, I would like to thank IFI for this wonderful opportunity for us, to all the great minds behind this. It's an honor for us to present our film. And to all the media and press, thank you for your time. There is a very famous saying about horror. We make up horror so that it helps to cope up with our real life. So this film stands very true to that statement, because it's just now we watched a trailer, and it literally puts us in a very hyper realistic situations in the film. I play a character called Sahana in the film. She's very calm, composed, and she's a medic by profession. And there is so much more to this character. It's very deeply layered. And the very beautiful thing and big highlight of the film is this film is very artistically and very characteristically rich. That's something very important thing about the story, because I really like all the characters in the film, though especially all 6 7 primary characters in the film are well written, and all the characters have a closure. So that's something very important I would like to address. And horrors are not like any other genres to be a part of. It's physically, mentally challenging, and it was so much beyond acting. It literally expected much more than an acting in the film. Yeah.
Yeah, we did torture her a lot.
Thank you so much. To Agni, I just saw you post like you were actually planning to come to IFI as a delegate. This was like such a shock for you. So how does this feel, this IFI and your film? Big moment for sure, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It feels surreal. I think until the desk I'm fine. I guess below I'm still shaking, so it does feel very surreal.
Yeah, but it's excitement too.
It is. Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to be here. Like I said, I wanted to come here last year. I couldn't because we had. I was busy with another writing and stuff. So this year, but there was all plans of coming here as a delegate, watch the movies here, and see how's it going. Because our movie was still in. When this was announced, our movie was still towards the end of the movie. We did not expect to finish it. But yes, like even today, I'm trying to kind of digest it because we had to deliver things so quickly, and then we're so busy with that tension, it still has to kind of sink in that this has happened. And then being here, yeah, it's a wonderful feeling, especially because IFI, this is where you celebrate cinema. Yeah. You watch films from all over the world. There's no differentiation of whether it's commercial or art house or documentary or bridge cinemas. There's nothing. It's just cinema. You watch cinema as a cinema, and that's what I love about it. Because if cinema gives me something and it keeps me hooked, need not be from an edge of the seat or any perspective, be it just someone giving a monologue about something, and that is cinema. Because if it keeps you if it gives you some information that you are watching it continuously, that is entertainment. And that's why I love this, so that we get to learn so much about cinema. It's it's not just one country. You know, India has its own style of filmmaking. Even in India, there's 100 different styles of filmmaking, and we get to see it very less because we mainly focus on the theatrical releases itself. Other than theatricals, we have OTTs now, where we get to see. Otherwise, there's nothing. You know, and coming here, sometimes you just come here just so that you can get to watch. It's something which is not available anywhere on internet. Probably never. Now you watch here, you go back, and you will like, that film was wonderful. Let me watch it again. It's not there. That's why I love Iffy and what they do and how they bring every scale of movie together. Ours is compared to what we've seen before. It's a very micro budget film, and it was crowd funded as well. So to have that opportunity to be here amidst all those big filmmakers and big cinemas, and it's a great honor. It's something that I can't explain.
That's a very well put. Also to Pavni, I think you've been in the industry for a while now. And how did it feel to act with Agni, as a debut director and everything? Like, how did it feel?
It was initially it was very exciting for me to be a part of this horror, because for me the fantasy genre, it's very new. Though I have done many films like in many genres, horror was always challenging, I knew, but I mean, the day I came to the set, I really realized how physically it was actually demanding. Uh, the very first point is the story and the characterization of the every character in the film was very well written, and it's very authentic to its root, because it speaks about, it addresses, and it goes back to its tribal world, and folk 4 influenced, it has an influence of that. So it was very much relatable to us from from the region where it's coming from, and to work with him,
I can be honest. Yeah.
it was not easy, because he is really best in horror. I don't know, since he was best, he started doing this, or in the journey he made it like he wanted to be a perfectionist. So same kind of perfection he was expecting from everybody. So it was very difficult to every department, and especially actors. It was really challenging, because we shot this in a very uneven terrains, different weather conditions, and it was very claustrophobic sometimes because of the locations. We shot it in a very dark spaces also. He really tortured us.
Yeah, it's the actors
In
who
the
make the
journey.
horror film work, right? I mean, they are the best. I would say that they're given the best, and that's the reason. At least now in the post production, we were saying it works because only if your character is in distress and they are scared, and then you feel that tension and you feel that emotion. So I would say that every actor brought the best in them, and that's what has made the movie better. I was just an audience. As soon as I call action and I sit in front of the monitor, I'm just an audience sitting in the theater. I watch them perform, and if it works. Otherwise, yeah. But so they were giving, even if however many takes we go, and they used to get something new, so they kind of spoiled me in that aspect. So I was like, yeah, give me another one, give me another one. But so it was really good because we made it in a very short span, and without them bringing in their all the experience and bringing it new, there was no time to actually kind of figure out on set. So there's always like the clock's ticking, it's the last day we have to shoot, that kind of stuff. So yeah, the actors were the best part in them.
I'm really happy that then everything worked out.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'll open the floor for questions. Any questions?
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello, sir.
Being a debut director, how you feel that doing a horror film, and how commercial viability was it?
I think as a debut director, horror. My personal opinion is horror is a bit. I wouldn't say easy, but it's still kind of manageable because you're working with a very contained set. Very what do you call it? Something that's the lighting will be under control. There's no, because our movie it has 30-40% of it was shot inside, while we have forest and we have a very big thing towards the end. There's a lot of things that was contained, so lighting became very easy. It was not challenging. The weather conditions did not matter, and how many ever takes we want, we can actually keep going for it. So horror genre makes it I would say easy, because the team size was very less, so there was only like cameraman, few lighting guys, and then it's all about getting the shot to be perfect. So that was easy. And commercially viable, anything that works in theater is commercially viable, right? So rather than the genre or anything of it, if it works in theater, it's commercially viable. And in that aspect, if we look at Hollywood cinema or world cinema, for that aspect, horror has always been considered as the safe genre, because the return of investment in terms of how much we invest, and it doesn't ask for big sets. The more, like she said, the more claustrophobic we get, the more tension that we can create. So with the budget we had, it was very calculated move of what amount of movie that we have to contain, and where can we open up, and how can we finish it. So in terms of commercially viable aspect, if we are able to entertain the audience in that aspect, scare them, and then probably give them some takeaway at the end of the movie, I think, yeah, commercially viable would be once it releases. But I feel that horror genre has, uh, uh, compared to other things, there's no force of, there's, you don't have to put a song in, you don't have to go for lavish locations. Visually, no one's expecting it to be visually mesmerizing. All they want to is, no. Yes. Yes. No, the story mainly follows the election officials who are following around. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, probably. But for this storytelling, the entire movie was from the perspective of the election officials itself. So we follow their life as if you are moving with them, like like, let's say, not exactly found footage. It's not found footage, but if you have a camera on their hand, so audience are put in the perspective of the election officials. So whatever they figure out about what is happening to them is what audience are going to figure out as well. So we have tried to contain that information, so that at any point of time, audience are not ahead of it, so that they don't get the information of, let's say, yeah, what everything is. As they try to figure out the scenarios, audience also will get to know. So there's no kind of parallel narration of two different lives. So we concentrated on one team and their distress, and audience being put in their position to figure things out. Thank you.
Yeah, Namaskara, Agni Pahanagoda. A very good
Namaste, sir.
afternoon to
Namaste,
you. My first question is to Pahanagoda. If we study briefly about Kannada film industry evolution, the icons like Girish Karnad, Lokesh, and Anand Nag, they were balancing both award and festival circuit, also commercial movies. So there was long time missing in actress genre in that one. I think now you have fulfilled that shoes in terms of female that category. Coming back earlier, we had Rudri of your film only, which was also in very much festival circuit, and you won some international awards also. Now it's Rudhirvana. Is it we are expecting some Pavana Gowda cinematic universe in Kannada film industry? Can you talk about that? Then I will come to Agni. Thank you.
Oh God. And I mean, in the very first place, I would really thank you for putting my name along with those big legends of industry. No, but thank you. You are being kind to me. Um, uh, Maybe just the start of horror. I mean, our factor is just adding to the title, so maybe that's why it's sounding like that. I would love to have my universe for sure in the future. That's what all the actors probably would look for, and we always aim to work towards that. With all your wish and support, why not? Definitely one day. And
If it becomes a universe, that means this is hugely successful. So if you're talking from the futures, yeah, I would wish for that to happen.
yeah, I'm sure this film has all that potential to travel international, and also even mainstream cinema for that matter, in the theater also. And I'm looking forward for this release, and how people are going to receive this film. Thank you.
Hello, Agni. This is Nikhil from All India Radio. I saw the trailer. It's fantastic, and poster we are looking is awesome.
Thank you, sir.
And
Thank you.
I can say there is something hidden in trailer also, which we will see in the movie.
Yes.
I just wanted to ask to you, what was thought process behind making this kind of movie and this kind of plot and this kind of caricature which you are trying to show us?
Thank you so much for the compliments, because when we were trying to do this, the first thing that we had in mind was to do something, not something that has never been done, because all sorts of movies has been done. we wanted to do something that was that followed the genre tropes, so that the audience are not disconnected. We always, cinema is made for the audience. At least that's what I feel. When I make this movie, I expect audience to be happy when they watch the film, and it's not just me saying that this is what I've made and this is cinema and you come and watch it. I feel that they're somewhere halfway down the line. We need to meet them so that it works for both the audience, for both the parties. So we wanted to do something fresh, and like I said, horror is something that I enjoyed watching, and I feel that the world cinema has a lot to it has a lot to kind of provide us in terms of horror movies. In here, I feel that it is changing these days, but it was always considered as this very cliche driven of some sort of revenge sort, which is not, that is pretty good because we've all enjoyed that. But exploring when Hollywood or Korean cinema or anyone does horror, where consider PTSD is considered as an horror, or the societal norms considered as an horror, anything that is surrounding us that actually puts emotional distress on a person is horror. So it's not always like a demon or like a supernatural entity. Even the anxiety that is inside of us is horror, right? We are scared about our own emotions. So I wanted to explore that part. And then there were don't want to get into any of the particulars, but there were few aspects that we were seeing around us happening that kind of made me think, like, what happens to a person in that situation. Let's say if someone is losing something in their life, that's probably more horrifying experience for him than actually encountering a supernatural entity. I would rather encounter a supernatural entity than go through all this pressure on me. So in this movie, we try to explore that aspect of it. Everything that you see here is a metaphorical aspect of what lies underneath. There are few aspects of, like I said, deforestation and stuff, and how it affects people. But rather than putting it in a straightforward way, because a lot of people have done it in a really good way of telling how that affects us. So we try to put a spin on that and bring the demon entities and the stories that we have heard. I don't want to spoil a lot, but I come from a place called as Mysore, and Mysore has its own story of Mahishasura and Chamundi and the Devis and the demons. The stories, I feel that in today's day, they carry more meaning. When I was a kid and we used to hear that story and stand in front of Mahishasura and take photos in Mysore, it always felt like it was just, okay, Mahishasura is just one demon. I know he existed and he's no more, and that's what we had in mind. And in today's date, I feel if that story is extrapolated, we kind of see the demon everywhere, even though he doesn't exist. There's an evil entity that carries on in today's world, which is, we'll get it. Which I feel is spreading. There's this metamorphosis going on where that is not just one entity, and it is kind of being spread across every one of us. Anyway, all those things aside, so we wanted to bring that aspect into film, bring that horror element of what happens is if that affects us, and it's very difficult to tell it from a wider perspective. It's very difficult to show how that affects thousands of people or lakhs of people and bring that on. So in here, everything you see in this poster or even behind him, the house that you saw, they all stand for they all stand for the deforestation aspect of it, the demon aspect of it. And we tried our best to make sure that that's told in a very new way. And I think we can discuss a few of the stuff after the movie, I guess, so that I don't I don't spoil anything here. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, Agni here. Just I wanted to ask about film, since you told after the film we can. Just all the best and congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
And coming back out or your background study, you were supposed to do AD for Punit Rajkumar's Dvita movie. So if you have got any memory since Appu lives on, you can share during any pre-production work or meeting Appu or anything, that work experience you can share. Thank you.
For me, Appu sir means a lot because we've been following him since our childhood. He's been part of our lives. As movies we always see even actors as our own family members in Canada. A lot of when they come in and when they rise in stardom, and they no longer are stars or anyone, they are seen as our own family members. So we've been watching his films from our childhood. And actually, I never. I think I met once in one of the press meets, and as a fanboy, I just went next to him, took a photo, and came out. And that's the only time I was able to meet him. But I always had this uh, drive to work with him, because I've heard stories from a lot of people and how he supports the new stories and filmmakers and stuff. So we always wanted to work with him. And when Vitva happened, I was actually in UK. So I was working in UK. It was lockdown. So we were in lockdown, and then Lucia Pavan sir had actually set up a competition where we had to make a short film, and if your short film gets selected, you get the opportunity to work in Vitva. And me and my wife, who's sitting, is also the producer of the film. We did a short film in our inside the house, and luckily we were selected, and I was supposed to work with him. And that was the 3-4 months of dream of working with Puneet sir. That from August to I was selected in August, and it was supposed to start on November 25th. And those are the memories which I feel is real, because there's a lot of dreams that I had during that time of working, getting to see him close, and then working with him. But unfortunately, that never came true. I feel that I missed a lot in my life too by not meeting him or not getting to work with him. I hope that tragedy had never happened. But I feel that he was the inspiration for me to come do this movie, because those days of the dreams of having to work in a movie suddenly being snatched away, and you just back to your IT life. I liked IT. I don't think without that experience I would have left IT. But yeah, so he was the inspiration. After that, there was also a story that I had written in the that was also a horror film as well, exploring trauma and stuff, like probably a different kind of trauma. And he made it, so I worked towards it to make that happen. I couldn't get to work under him, but yeah, I think if that incident had not happened, if I had not got the chance to work in Vitva, this would have never happened. So I feel that he is the inspiration, and he is the force behind this movie.
Coincidentally, tomorrow is November 25th.
Yeah.
So maybe its blessing is this.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't think of it. Yes, November 25th was supposed to be the day Vitva was supposed to start in Hyderabad. Yeah. I feel he's looking over us and blessing us. Thank you.
हेलो अग्नि,
Hello,
ये आपने पहली मूवी डायरेक्ट भी की है और लिखी भी है.
हाँ सर.
सो ऐसे हम कई लोगों को देखते हैं, लेकिन ये एक अनुभव आपका जानना चाहते थे कि लिखना और फिर फिल्म को डायरेक्ट करना कितना चैलेंजिंग होता है या इजी होता है. और
Yes, sir.
उसमें आप एक चीज़ और ऐड करिएगा कि जो हॉरर के बारे में आप बोल रहे हैं कि एक ट्रॉमा होता है, तो उसको कैसे डील करते हैं.
हाँ सर. Thank you, sir. Thanks for the question. Writing and direction, I feel it makes it easier. Direction becomes very easy if you're writing it, because when we are writing it, we feel the emotion. As I put my pen on the paper and write something, and I immediately know whether the emotion that I want is coming there or not. मेरे characters कैसे बोलेंगे, क्या हाव भाव होगा उनका, like वो relate हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है. So I'll be the first audience to see that. And because I wrote this story for a really long time, and like she said, the main reason that it's both positive and negative. Positive being exactly what you want on set, and first 2 takes we'll probably see it as an audience and see if it's working or not. If it's working, very good, because sometimes actors give you very different of what you have thought, and that's a beautiful thing. First 2 takes would be the beautiful thing, because they would exceed what I would have thought, because I'm not a good actor, so they are great actors. So whatever I would have imagined would be in the constraints of my own probably acting abilities or imagination, and they'll come up with something very new, and that's very good. If at all that is not working after a couple of takes, 2-3, and you feel that that's not coming out, there is something you can go back to. You can rely on something you have thought. Okay, let's go back to what we have thought and try to get that emotion out. So it makes it easy. if I have not returned that, then it's probably a little difficult to figure out. We'll only know it's not working. We'll not know what to change. I think that's from a creative perspective, that's very difficult, uh, and that's when we kind of postpone. If it doesn't work there, let's see if it works in dubbing. Let's see if it works after music. Let's see if it does something after that. And I feel that is very challenging. At the same time, someone else writing it adds a little more, probably more depth and more experience to it. Like cinema is always based on our own experience, and I feel that our experience is very limited. You know, what have I done in my life? Like nothing. I just finished my engineering, did IT, and my experiences are very less. There's nothing that you can take away from my experience and feel that, you know, that adds that doesn't add layering or the flavor in the film that is required. So कोई और स्टोरी लिखता है तो उसका एक्सपीरियंस भी उसमें आ जाएगा, उनका फ्लेवर उसमें आ जाएगा. सो राइटिंग में डिफरेंट फ्लेवर्स है, एंड डायरेक्शन में यू कैन ऐड द फ्लेवर फ्रॉम योर साइड ऑफ द एक्सिक्यूशन. Directing someone else's story, I feel, adds more depth and flavor into the film because there are multiple entities working together. So that's the beauty of doing no kind of collaborative work is always good. The cinema itself is a collaboration, so collaborating with the writer, I feel it will be good, and I want to do that in future so that, you know, my movies, you know, let's say I make more movies. I hope I make more movies, and my filmography shouldn't represent one side type of a film. And that's how I feel sometimes directors become typecasted after films because we are only writing with our experience and trying to bring in, you know, action or emotion or horror or anything, but at the core of it, it's the same experience, same style and same flavor. So if you see great minds like, you know, Martin Scorsese or Steven Spielberg or anybody from horror for that matter, they always take stories from someone else and then add their flavor. So we never feel that, you know, a Scorsese film is not a Scorsese film because someone else wrote it. They have different writers. Steven Spielberg film is always a Steven Spielberg film. You can see it from the execution. But the story and the screenplay and the way they have treated it is still new, film after film. There is no typecast of their films. And I feel that's because of the collaboration. So there's both of the things are beautiful. But for me in this one, yeah, because I wrote it, I feel it was slightly easy to execute it in a very small amount of time.
Hi.
Hi, sir. ಹೆಂಗಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಸರ್?
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್.
Sir, nowadays we are looking that Kannada industry also growing day by day. So you are looking that coming days we have seen that Rocky part 1, part 2, Kantara part 1, part 2. Looking at your trailer also too good. So do you feel that coming days Kannada industry is growing as Bollywood?
Yes, yeah. I mean, Kannada industry has always been doing good. I mean, regionally, we had films every year becoming very successful. What percentage was visible from outside is always a perspective, like how it was doing from standing from outside this thing. But like you said, KGF, Kanta, and other stuff, they kind of broke the shackles and brought the limelight into the industry, which is very good, which is the best part probably, because those movie becoming successful actually helped other movies to be what do you call it, they made other movies visible as well. They kind of broke the ceilings, and then from the ceiling you saw that, okay, it's not just two movies, there are other movies as well, which is pretty good. So one or two movies doing that collectively helps the industry as a whole. And now I think it has made other filmmakers life easy, because they don't have to struggle as much as we did before, because they have paved the way. They are the pioneers now, and people by default, like you said, you know, the topic coming up as Kannada movies doing well itself means that there are eyes already on the movies that are coming in. So people are already seeing that, okay, let's say Kannada is doing something, it seems, let's see what they are doing. So they have helped us to be recognized. If we make even a slightly good film, I think we can get into that visibility zone. And yeah, I would say KGF and Kantara did an amazing job for Kannada.
So, firstly, welcome to Goa and Ifi
Thank you,
Agni.
sir. Thank you.
And the other person, Pavana Gowda, she was one of the audiences last years when we were attending talks of different events here. Today, seeing her on stage, I feel very proud of both friends of mine are here. So my quick question to you was, firstly, congratulations on your debut with a
Thanks, sir.
feature
Thank you.
film
Thank you.
in Kannada here. I have always known you as not Narasimha Agni. I have known you as Kannadiga Agni.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You were a film reviewer
Yeah.
from UK all the way, doing all film critic reviews which were out from your heart, where we all loved you.
Yeah, yeah.
But later, at one point, when you started to work with movies, directing movies, uh, you came at a point that I don't think so. As a director, I should also review the movie or not.
Yeah.
We also had a discussion about that. This post this, my question to you is basically, you had worked with Rakshit Shetty. You had worked with Hemant Rao as a director in Sapta Sagara Dache. What are your learnings from that movie? What you got as working as an assistant director over there? What you implemented here? And also coming to this movie, I specifically want to ask you, there were certain points in the movie where you wanted to go to a reserved forest area, shoot certain things and all that. So initially, for a debut director to do that, it becomes very difficult to actually get in there, get the permissions. So how difficult was that phase, and how did people around you support you at that phase to bring this beautiful product at such a catalyst rate? And many congratulations to
Thank
that.
you.
These are my two questions:
Sure.
one about your learnings, and secondly, your
The purpose.
shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Everything that you see here is a learning from Sapta Sagar Dachelo. As you know, I'm a very big fan of Hemant Rao sir, and he's still been a very big support for us during the, even when we announced that we are here. And I spoke to him recently as well, and then he congratulated and he said how proud he was. So the on-field experience is always something that cannot be replicated sitting at home. There are a few directors who can do that. You don't always need a set experience. But in my case, working on a big scale film like Sapta Sagar Dachello, it taught me how to handle 150 200 people on set, how to get the next shot ready, how do you stay confident, how to not crumble under pressure, when you see so many people there. And then suddenly the first day I went there, and there are like 100 extras, and there are shots everywhere. Hemant sir loves to shoot as realistic as possible, and it's always very real location, and it's not controlled or anything. And that sort of so he pushes us to learn things as well. So I learned how to control things on set, and I also learned how to be adamant, how to get what you want from Hemant sir. And that's the best part of him. You see something on screen, and that's exactly what Hemant sir would have wanted and what he thought when he wrote it. And he strives towards that. He strives for perfection. So that was really good. And Rakshit sir was he's a sweetheart, and he's someone who you would definitely want to work with, because the flexibility that he has, and the sort of dedication that he shows, where he is a director himself. He's such a great director himself, and he just kind of I think he's the only person who I've seen kind of switches his direction part off when he's on screen, and he just plays the character that he's expected of him. So that was a great learning doing there. And coming to the second part, the cinema is always a collaboration. So when we wanted to shoot it in the forest, I wanted the forest to look authentic, because the distress is the forest. The initial conflict of the movie is the terrain itself, like how difficult terrain they are in, and what sort of distress that they are going through. So we wanted to shoot in somewhere where like I said, the image is long trees and stuff like that. And a lot of people helped me in that aspect, from the permissions to shooting in private spaces. So we were able to blend because they walk for a while, and I wanted the terrain to also change during that work. And if you're walking in the forest, every 5 minutes, every 6 minutes, you see the trees change, the length of the trees change, the density of the trees changing, the terrain changing, and all that. It feels fresh, and that's the reason we kind of get lost in the forest, I guess. We don't know where we are, because every time it's a new space that you come through. I wanted to bring that here. So yeah, permissions and like I said, the personal connections, the collaborations really helped to get that out. Thank you. I don't know. Someone should review the film and then see how, and then probably I'll get to know how I feel about someone talking about my movie. It was a great experience. I mean, because when we were doing that, and even today, I met a few of the uh, people from Kannada film industry, and they were, they welcomed us in open hands. They congratulated us for being here, and the support we got was very good because people were, yeah. So being a reviewer to filmmaker, it's good to be here, and then probably tomorrow I'll get to know how it went. Thank you.
We'll
Thank
take
you.
one last question.
Yeah. Hi. You said first question. What is your inspiration of this movie? Is this based on true events? And secondly, you said that PTSD is also one type of horror.
Yeah.
Was there any PTSD after doing this show, after doing the movie, especially to you?
So what was the first question?
First question
Well,
is it based on true events?
it's not exactly based on true events, but it is based on the election commission motto of India. So there was one day my kid was sleeping. So we were at, I don't know, 12 a.m. in the morning. I guess I was not able to switch on the TV, watch anything. So we put on some election documentary, and we saw our election commission going to the most remotest of the place possible to get one vote. I think there's a place in Nagaland or Mizoram where they yeah they climb the mountain just to take one vote, and that kind of, I know it was inspiration. At the same time, I thought that's a good plot for a horror flick. If you're going that remote, there's always a chance that you end up with something. And I've seen challenges as well. Not exactly the horror, but we have seen the election officials putting their lives in line. Not exactly in a horror way, but it's always like I said, the demons need not be in demons. From the horror is human horror as well. So that I try to kind of blend both in and see what we can get out of it. PTSD, yes, I'm still suffering from that horror. Thinking about horror every day. I mean, it's nothing serious here, but thinking about horror every day to kind of what do you call it? So it's all about tricking the audience. Anything for that matter. Even the elevation or even comedy for that matter, or it's all about timing. So you're trying to kind of break what they are expecting. And horror is same as well. So where is it coming from? People already know it's a cliche thing. There is something that's going to jump out. Okay, where the heck is it going to jump out? And you have to be constantly thinking. So some nights I've seen, when I wake up in the middle of the night, I've seen things sitting right in front of me because I've been thinking about it the whole night about where my horror would be sitting. So yeah, that PTSD still exists. But yeah, just kidding. So yeah, PTSD probably for the actors. I don't know. They had, but it was a great experience. It was a good experience.
Definitely not after the film because it was kind of relieved. Everything was relieved. But before and during the shoot, it was like, yeah, because I was being flooded with too many horror films to watch, to study, to get the rhythm of the film, especially about the horror because it's kind of different pattern and you know. So I used to watch every film with
On mute.
on mute and understand just the plot, and because you always have a subtitle, so you don't need a sound. So I kind of balanced it out like that to watch the film. From past 2 years, I've been only watching horror films. For now, I think I'm done for the horror after the film.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's why. See, even the reason why he gave all the films to understand the performance, to understand how the rhythm of the characters, how they behave in the horror films, because the walks are different. And even the situations, reactions are total. You have to go technically perform the horror films. You can't just go only by the actor instinct. You can't perform. You have to go technically also according to the shot, according to directions of the director and composition and the angle and everything. You have to work in sync for the horror film. So to understand that, I have to study horror film. So I had no escape. So that's why I watched all the horror films in a mute.
Yeah, because horror, I feel that it's not natural. Anything that you do in a horror film, right? It's not natural. If there's a huge sound that comes from behind, this is my reaction. You are horror doing that, that can build the scene and then you have the jump scare.
Oh, I'm sorry about that word. It was not
I used it,
torture.
so yeah.
I mean, see, I don't know whether because you revealed few shots in the trailer
No, I
itself.
yeah, we have
uh,
revealed. It is. I think it was physically demanding. I
it
would
was
say
very, very
physically
demanding, and
towards
there
the
were
end.
too many rope shots in the film, and I was supposed to be prepped for that a few episodes, and so I had to build my core strength, weight training, and all that to execute that sequence. And since it was a micro budget film, you don't have a luxury of shooting the film for like one scene a day or like a few shots a day. We shot like 3 4 scenes in a day, and you don't have any luxury of relaxing, resting, or asking for a relief for some time and you come back and join or something. No, you have to go back to back, back to back, back to back. So
They need, sir. Definitely, they need the relaxation. Yeah, like I said, one is relaxing, and there are two things. One is what we can arrange, and second one is the luxury. This probably was not luxury for a longer time, because and the problem with this was it was purely based the last part of this shooting, right? She was the only one. There's very less characters, and while during the other shoots we had 6 characters, so one person performs, they have their own time to take it, and then you have the other sequences. And then towards the end, it was because of the action sequences. It was physically demanding, and we had our action master Arjun Raj was done for Kantara and stuff, right? So he was brilliant in bringing out the vision. And though some of those sequences, yeah, we have to go a couple of times, and we do have enough breaks in between, but yeah, probably not as much as like, because there was nothing else to shoot in between, and we had to kind of get through a few of stuff. And she couldn't change the costumes at certain points. That was the problem, because there's a lot of continuity issues, blood and stuff, which you see, like I said, no spoilers. But yeah.
Okay, okay. Due to time constraints, we are just wrapping up. You can no, like we are like, yeah, but it's like, I'm so sorry, we are like back to back PCs. But so with that, we are wrapping up our PC. Thank you so much, you both. And also, the movie is having this gala premiere at 4. All those are book ticket. Do watch. It has been houseful since yesterday itself, it was houseful. So let them know your response. And thank you so much, everyone, for coming. And thank you, all the online viewers. And also, we have a small memento. Can you just come forward?
Sure. And